Hi, Cancer. Okay, happy mid-May. Anyone new to Opal Oracle? Welcome. Anyone returning? Hi. Now, well, I climbed a mountain for you. For me, for us. There's a few things. One is, there's a new moon in Taurus on the 15th, okay? Happy new moon. It's a good time to ask for, well, what it is that you want new in your life, okay? Okay. Now, you, Libra, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aries all received this deck, okay? I've already told the story enough times, so therefore I'm not going to repeat myself in totality, but I will say that this is the first deck I ever received. I only received this gift because I went through a very troublesome time, okay? Very transformative time. In saying so, this deck is actually missing the Queen of Swords, so I don't know if I'm going to use this for everyone, but for now, it's relevant to those who I use it for. And with the Queen of Swords missing, it's about you either needing to look at the situation in a different way, okay? Become really more open-minded about it, okay? You can't stay stuck in the way that you're thinking about it, and or you will gain a new understanding, at very least intellectually, about the situation, okay? Gain a new clarity internally, because the queens are internal, so therefore it can be externalized, because the King of Swords actually popped its head out, okay, when I was cleaning these up, okay? Now, I want to look at this for a second, because these are actually all in the upright, but you ended up with some in the reverse. So I want to look at the reversal quickly, and then we'll move along. I see for some of you, your past relationships, your soul contracts are affecting your present moment, okay? For some of you, you're not trusting yourself. Actually, you know what? I already recorded your reading, but it was so intense that I was just like, you and Taurus both, it was all, I recorded inside, which I generally haven't done for months now. And I'm relating that to, what a beautiful bird, to the inside of you, okay? And how important it is well, I heard to go without. Interesting. Within and without. To go without. There's something about that. And maybe what that is with your other reading, it was like this like, and even when I do that, I feel this anxiety. Okay? And I think that's what you need to go without, is your anxiety that causes you to not trust people because you had negative sexual history, particularly when you were young, that affect your ability to trust other people. End of story. And I don't want you to feel like that anymore. I see that in a way, for a lot of you, your mother was a manipulator, okay, in some way or another. She didn't use her magic appropriately. This can also very much be just like your feminine side. Because I've already mentioned before, but it's so important, Cancer, you are a cardinal sign. Therefore, you must I know you don't like to hear too much intellectual. you want to feel it, right? You learn from other people's feelings, so it's important how you feel, because you, as the first can and the cardinal of the water, you determine for the collective how everybody else feels. That's a really big responsibility, and I know in a way your challenge is feeling good. Your challenge is healing your inner child. But with Uranus in Aquarius's house, you have to. Now, I wasn't going to tell you the story. It was just 5:55. That's 15. That's Saturn. Okay? I wasn't going to tell you the story, but I guess I need to tell you the story about this, because I almost forgot that you learn through other people's feelings, right? That's how you learn. So, I was in love with somebody. We were friends for 20 years. We were connected. I was connected to this person. They were connected to me for the majority of my life. And no matter how far we were apart from each other, there was always some sort of thing that brought us back together. That string was just like, I couldn't, you know. And in the beginning, I was like, this is cool. This is a cool string. I can always follow it back, you know, like the spider goes back. Well, the last time I followed the string back, well, I ended up in the middle of the web. And so did he. But the thing was, is the spider that ruled that web was the devil. Was fear, was addiction, was the shadow aspects that neither one of us were willing to. Although we both were doing work, it's like when we were together, the work would sort of dissipate, right? And we just get stuck in that web and try to just be surface about it. Like, be like, yay, everything's cool. Not realizing that we both had to make a judgment call about it. Now, in the end game, you know, we had plans to, he was going to go fishing, and I was going to rent this. I had an apartment lined up, and I had a job lined up, and I was learning about the area, and I was really happy. I was feeling really strong and courageous in myself. And then all of a sudden, something happened where, basically a situation happened where I finally, like, stood up for myself, like, expressed myself, my feelings, right? And, it was really hard to do. And when I opened, it was like the Queen of Cups. When I finally opened that cup, it was like, it was a lot. And he couldn't take it, okay? Because he wasn't willing to open his cup. Because if we both would have opened the cup, we possibly could have washed that web away and then built our own structure together, right? Something stable, something proactive, something positive, productive. But instead, it was just me, and he was intimidated by that, because he was intimidated by his own feelings. No offense, it happens to everybody. And he basically was just like, get the fuck out of my life. You're not allowed to express yourself, you know, whatever. So, of course, this could have been your parents. It could be who you're dealing with now. It could be whoever you, because this person came up last time also. So, regardless of it being your father or your mother or whatever, it's whoever kind of was domineering in your life to begin with is why you're still dealing with the people that are domineering in your life now. Because that string connects the two. And again, the spider that rules that web is the devil. Okay, and you have to assess it. It goes back to those yucky feelings I was talking about in February when Zumi ate the rat poison. It's like you just want that black bile to be gone, right? But you are the only one that can wash it away. You're the only one that can cleanse it away by opening up that cup. Okay, by opening up yourself. Connecting the dots is what I heard. Now, this situation happened. I think I saw a bobcat earlier, so I'm just being aware. They're usually pretty keep to themselves, but it's always good to be aware of your environment. Where is it that you feel like when you notice something, are you afraid? How do you respond to it? You know? And that's what fear is too. How do we behave when we feel afraid? How do we behave when we feel paranoid? When we feel protective? Okay? So, long story short, tower came. I lost my place to live. I lost kind of like the love of my life. Do you see what just happened there? It got so stuck. Like I literally, like something just became so stuck. We were so stuck in that web. And God knew that that web wasn't good for me. And so there was a judgment call about that connection, about that soul contract, okay? Now, luckily, I had a friend, Allie, at the time. Love you, Allie. I miss you so much all the time. But she helped me, you know? She lived in the next state. And so she watched Azumi. We traded vehicles, you know, which me, like, giving somebody else my car was a big deal to me because that's my first car. You know, like, that was about trust. You know, me leaving my dog there, it's like my child pretty much in a way. Like, that's about trust. And she trusted me to have this vessel, right, to live in. And then I lived in a Walmart parking lot for 3 months. And I decided to go to therapy and start taking classes on, like, what depression means, like, what family, like, what does trauma mean? How do we behave in that way? Because I did my own research, like, about the sympathetic system and sorts of, different psychological understandings to reactionary processes due to whatever it is that we've been through. Therefore, we repeat it, right? Because it's familiar. We're always trying to go home. Okay? But we know better. We know better. But in the beginning, both these were in the reverse, which shows me that there's a lot of fear. Okay? And I also heard that could mean that you were fearful when you're at home in a way, or something about home makes you fearful. You also rule the 4th house, so in home is also you. You know? Are you afraid of your own feelings? You know, because that situation that happened, I literally had to. It was like one of the most devastating, and I've had plenty of devastating times in my life, but this was pretty low. Like, probably the lowest I've ever been. It's so low that it was scary. Okay? Petrifying, actually. But I just kept going. Because I had to. God didn't want me to quit. God wanted me, apparently, to live in that Walmart parking lot, to take that class on learning more about how the mind and the emotions and the heart and everything else, the body, right, reacts to whatever's happened in the past, again, to what's happening now. And this ended up in my hands. This is actually the first tarot deck, like I said, that I ever received. Okay? But I only received this gift from God because something insanely traumatic happened. And through that traumatic situation, it actually opened up a possibility to heal that other trauma from the past. Okay? So I didn't just stay stuck in that web, think that I had to deal with it. Okay? And it was hard. It was really hard. I drove 2 hours north to the class, and then I drive 2 hours back just to be right there on time. And I worked in this, like, factory. Didn't have any windows, you know. They gave us, like, a 5-minute break, whatever. And then I would go to the Walmart parking lot because I didn't have any friends there. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll just go there. And, you know, I listened to a lot of heart. And I cried a lot. And I wrote a lot. And I learned about this a lot. So, with traumatic situations, we can really learn about new avenues to where it is that we can go. We can learn how to become a different person, okay? No, it's not always easy. Because when you're manipulated as a child, when you're, there's dominating people in your life and people that lie to you when you're a kid, okay? Well, that makes you not trust people as an adult. It makes an unconscious situation that we don't want to look at and we just want to run away from. This is going into the past. Okay? But you can't run away from, well, I heard you can't run away from karmic contracts, but what you can do is start making more appropriate judgment calls about what's fair to you and what's not. Because if you if you say, oh, everything's perfect, when you know that it's not, well, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Okay? It was just 16 minutes even. That's the tower, and that's what happens. Okay? So thank you for listening to that story, because I know you're a good listener, and I hope that you understand that, well, we all go through stuff. Life's pretty intense. Now, as a trauma survivor, if you want to call it that, which I don't like to use that word so much anymore because it sort of puts you in a position of like, oh, well, you're just surviving. It's like, you know, you're just reaching up through the soil. You're not living, you're just surviving, right? There's a big difference between those two things. But it is good if you've been through a lot and then you realize 17 minutes exactly, the star card, this is Uranus, right? It's about healing. The tower. Healing. And what does the tower break down to? 16 is your card, the Chariot. Healing how it is that you move forward. Okay? Because the thing is you being the driver of the Chariot, you could just drive around in circles if you want to. You know, if you don't have a direction. And I just saw a spider making a web like this. Okay? So in a way, I know that you feel kind of stuck. But you have to know that you're not going to fall into the web. When the sun is out, you can see the reflection of where the spider webs are in nature. Okay? You're not going to get stuck in it if you slow down as you're moving forward and you look around. Okay? When you trust yourself. If your body says, whoa, Nelly, then slow down. You also have to trust who you are, okay? I tell everybody this, but I'm going to keep telling everybody until we all figure it out. The I am game. Please, 5 pieces of paper, I am at the top. Go back through, I am blank. Whatever comes to you. Doesn't matter what kind of adjective, whatever you want to put in there. Then you go back through and you explain to yourself why you are those things. That'll help you to understand unconsciously, subconsciously, who you are. And a lot of it will come, at least 1 or 2 of them will come from your childhood. Okay? I mean, it all relates back. There is no disconnection really from that string. It just depends whether we want to climb over to that web or not. Because you can climb anywhere that you want. You can go anywhere that you want. You don't have to live in somebody else's web. You can make your own web. Or maybe you don't even want to be a spider anymore. Maybe you want to be a tree. Maybe you want to be a butterfly. Maybe you want to be a cup of coffee. Something that wakes you up, something that gives you energy, something that is sweet, something that you came across because you were exploring life. you know? Cool bird. Now, Taurus had the same thing. The masculine side, okay? Your right side. There's a lot of shadows over here, okay? Feminine side's really bright, super green, okay? So I see for a lot of you Cancerian people, your mom's nicer than your dad. But that also represents the masculine is how you go outward, okay? How you express yourself. How you give. This is receiving, this is giving. How do you give? And how much energy and time and fear do you give to the shadow? Because when you feed, when you have fear, you feed the shadow. Hey baby, come here. Come on, please. Good girl. Because you got to learn your own boundaries, alright? Kazumi, she's like my inner child. I realized that actually. I realized that when I was hanging out actually with one of my old best friends who was a Cancer. I actually have a lot of Cancer soul contracts. So thanks for being here and help so we can help each other learn. Okay? She wants to go off and do her own thing. Sometimes she's real close, sometimes she chills out, and sometimes she wants to go and explore. And that's fine and good. But I'm responsible for her. I'm responsible for my inner child. Okay? I need to make sure that she feels safe. That I feel safe about wherever she's going. Because sometimes what the shadow is your inner child being afraid of that. But your adult self being like, you're fine. But you got to keep it in check. You know? Now she's right there. I can see her. It's fine. You know? Let's see, because the High Priestess originally was in the reverse. I want to see how to keep that in the upright. You already know the truth, babe. I also see that you need to cut out anybody, like, cut out the part of yourself that wants to protect you. Like your masculine side that's like, be afraid. Be afraid. No, don't go into your feelings. Be afraid. You don't have to be afraid. Okay? You don't have to be afraid. Wherever it is in life, whatever path that you are on right now is exactly where you're supposed to be in ways of the karmic scale. Yes, if something happened to you in your life, the things that have happened in your life where you're like, I can't believe that happened to me, this is awful. I still feel awful about it. Well, let it go. Open up. Become a different creature. Become a different person. Okay? If you go through life with walls and being like, this happened to me, I'm still so hurt by it. What it does is it blocks you energetically from receiving what it is that you want. It blocks you energetically from closing out this cycle. And you have an opportunity right now to close it out. Okay? Judgment's here anyway. So, yes, it's beautiful. There's an angel here. You will become a new person. That's the present situation. Okay? The Lovers just flipped in the reverse. So, but it's becoming a new person. These people are all nude, which I just heard sexual like, I heard the word sexual again. So it's like, you know, maybe you have Lilith in the 4th house. Maybe you've had, there's your card right there. Maybe you've had to deal with uncomfortable, and what is sex but it's the root chakra, okay? It's all red, okay? But you can let it go. Your past does not define you. It does not define you. Let me say it again. Your past does not define you. And when I'm saying that, my heart's like, yes it does, yes it does, yes it does. I'll never let it go, I'll never let it go. I can't let it go. But you can. Let it go, babe. Let it go. Just let it go. Believe in yourself. Okay? I see that fire signs have made you sad. Okay? Or again, domineering people that talk at you. Okay? But for some reason I put judgment back in here, and now here it is again. Okay? With your inner child. Okay? That's Pisces. So for some of you, the judgment call is about Pisces that no longer suit you. Now Pisces, regardless of you having it in, like, as a person. Come on, baby. Come on, Zumi. Please. Get over here. Hey, honey. Oh, you're right there. Stay close, okay? Good girl. Good girl, Zumi. Pisces is the 12th house. It's about endings. Okay? It's about, self-undoing. Okay? You can do that. They also rule hospitals and prisons. So it means that you can heal yourself and get out of this prison if you want to. And for most people this month, this time frame, it's all about the internal. Okay? You don't have any pentacles here either. It's not about, I mean, yes, of course, the internal reflects the external world. The external world, it's same, difference, mirror, right? But it's really about, it's Uranus. It's once you get past Saturn, like, then everything's invisible. Okay? So, assess it. The shadow. Right? Yeah, the sun went behind the clouds, but I can still see. I'm here in these woods, technically, alone. Right? In this environment alone. But I'm okay. I'm okay. I have these trees. I have this heart. I have these eyes that can see. Sumi. Come on. Oh, you're right. You goober. Come on, baby. You're too far. Come on. Please. Over here. Thank you. Come on. See, now if I yelled at her, right? She's my inner child. If I yelled at her and I was like, I got scared, right? As an adult. And I'm like, oh, fuck, where's my... And then I go, Sumi, get the fuck over here. Or whatever. Well, she's going to be like, I don't want to come over there. But if I'm like, come on, babe. Let's go. Come over here. Then she's more open-minded, open-hearted, open energy to want to come over here. Yeah, she didn't come right next to me. She's still over there doing her own thing, being independent. But it goes back to boundaries, Cancer. And I see that your mental boundaries need help. Like, where your mind goes. That's the truth. There's a need to put more effort into and continue to work on your patience with yourself. Okay? Because this is an 8. And this is an 8. Which 8 do you want? This character helps you decide which 8 you want. I think that this 8 is more productive. This card agrees. What else is here? Yeah. And how you find more balance is by assessing your shadow. Okay? I see that that full moon in Scorpio was helpful whether you realize it or not. Yes, indeed. Helping us heal. Thank you, Scorpio. Thank you, soft pink full moon in Scorpio. Okay? There's another 8. Okay, which is the strength card. It's about courage in this journey of self-mastery. Okay? In this journey of healing what it is that has hurt you in the past. And closing out that cycle so that you no longer have to go through life thinking that you have to keep fighting this fight inside of you, anxiety-wise, blocking your own success. Uranus isn't going to let you do that anymore. It wants you to work on yourself because that's what's really fair for you. Okay? No more of this imbalance with your own shadow. No. No way, Jose. Hey, get over here, little girl. Come here. Come on, baby. Come on to me. Right now. Alright, I gotta check on the dog. Inner child, she's getting away from me. Peace out. You are safe, you are loved, you are protected. Okay? Bye. Oh, there she is. See? She's safe. Yeah, give it a minute sometimes. Okay? Slow down. Again, if I just got worried and I was like, oh fuck, she's gonna get hurt, like da 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 da. It's just blocking the path. It's blocking the blessing of being here right now and learning, and I see that, and succeeding, and I see that Libra has a message for you. Okay? Love you.